Very good morning, students. Today we will continue with our lecture. Yesterday we studied about the Mendel's law up to the monohybrid cross and the four laws which was being proposed by the Mendel. The three laws were studied yesterday, which were the law of the unit factors, law of dominance, and the law of segregation. Today we will continue with the Mendel's dihybrid cross, which will give rise to his fourth law, which is the law of the independent assortment. So this firstly the Mendel conducted the experiment on a single character. He took into consideration the single character which were yesterday were considered under the Mendel's monohybrid cross. Today we will discuss the Mendel's dihybrid cross, in which he took two characters at the same time, such as the form of the seed, which can be round or the wrinkled, and the color of the cotyledons, which can be yellow or green. One of the characters are usually dominant, and as a law, it is as a rule, it is the dominant character is being represented by the capital letter and the recessive character as the small letter. Similarly, the color of the cotyledons are also the dominant color is yellow, which is represented by the capital letter, and the recessive trait is green, which is represented by the small letter. So what he did was he conducted the dihybrid cross between the seeds which were round and yellow, and with the seeds which were wrinkled and green. This is homozygous dominant, capital RR and YY, and this is homozygous recessive, which is a small RR and small YY. Because there are two factors for each character, therefore round is represented by capital RR and yellow is represented by small capital YY. See, these are the parent seed, and then the F1 generation were all round and yellow, but they have the same phenotype, but their genetic makeup was different. The genotype was different. They were hybrid, and these were homozygous round and yellow. These were all heterozygous or the hybrid round yellow. Then they self-pollinated these. They were selfing between the F1 generation. It resulted into a F2 generation. The selfing, because of the selfing, the gametes which are formed are RY, capital R, small r, capital Y, and small r, small y. So the different combinations which are produced in F2 generation are capital RR, capital YY, this capital RR, capital YY. Then with this capital RR, capital Y, small y. Then this will get crossed with this gamete, and this gamete will fuse so as to form the capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. Then this was this capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Then we will cross these gametes. This will form capital R, capital R, capital Y, small y. Capital R, small y, this with this. Then this with this, capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Then this was this, capital R, small y, small y. Then these crosses, capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Small r, capital Y, capital Y. Small r, capital Y, small y. And then capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Capital R, small y, small y. Small r, capital Y, small y. Small r, small y, small y. So this is the result of the crossing between the F1 generation hybrid round yellow seeds, and this results in the formation of the F2 generation. Now we can study how many of them are hybrid and how many of them are homozygous for their characters. This is round and yellow. This is also round and yellow. Because yellow is dominant, it will get expressed even if small y is present. This is round and yellow. Round will be expressed because it is dominant character, and small r is the recessive trait. So this will get expressed even in the presence of this, and its expression will be marked by the presence of this. This is also round and yellow. This is also round and yellow. This is round and yellow, round and yellow, round and yellow, and round and yellow. So how many round and yellows are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this gives us the first ratio, that is round and yellow, which are 9. Round and yellow. Then comes the round and green. These are 1, 2 and 3. These are 3, round, small capital R and small y, round and green, 3. Then wrinkled and yellow. These are 1, 2, 3, which have small r, recessive character, small rr, and one of the dominant character of yellow. So these are wrinkled and green, wrinkled and yellow. 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the homozygous recessive, which was wrinkled, similar to the parent, which was wrinkled and green, is only 1. This one. This gives us 1. This is wrinkled and green. So this gives us a ratio of 9:3:3:1, which is round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green. This is the monohybrid ratio, the ratio which is obtained 9:3:3:1 for F2 generation, which is derived at the end of the dihybrid cross between the two parents homozygous for both the traits. Round yellow and wrinkled green is referred to as the Mendel's dihybrid phenotypic ratio. This is basically the two hidden monohybrid ratios. That is because if we consider a single character round, these both are round, that means 9 plus 3, this becomes 12, is to wrinkled, they are 3 plus 1, 4. Then it gives us a ratio of 3:1, which is the monohybrid ratio. Similarly, if we consider the other single character, which is yellow and green, this is yellow seeds, cotyledons. That means 9 plus 3 is 12 and green is 3 plus 1, 4. 12:4 gives us 3:1. So basically this dihybrid ratio, phenotypic ratio, is basically two monohybrid ratios of two characters. So the conclusion which was drawn from this Mendel's dihybrid cross was that the inheritance of cotyledon color, which was yellow or green, is independent of the inheritance of the seed shape, which was round or wrinkled. This gave rise to the fourth law of the Mendel's, which is referred to as the law of independent assortment, according to which the factors for each character, different characters, segregate independent of the factors of the other characters. This will be discussed in detail afterwards. Sutton in 1903 observed that before that the terms chromosome, genes, nucleus were unaware when the Mendel discovered all these laws. It was not known at that time that the cell has nucleus has chromosomes, it has DNA, genes. It was not known at that time. Then in Sutton in 1903 established that there was a parallelism between the various principles which governs the chromosomes and the Mendel's factors. These parallelism were observed in these characters. The chromosomes occur in homologous pairs. Similarly, the Mendel's hereditary factors existed in pairs, which was referred to as the law of unit characters. There is always a pair for each character, such as capital TT, small tt. Paired homologous chromosomes separate in meiosis 1. Similarly, according to Mendel's, the factors for each character segregate at the time of gamete formation. These were referred to as the Mendel's law of segregation. Chromosomes of homologous pairs are assorted at random in meiosis. Similarly, Mendel's law of independent assortment states that the factors for different characters segregate independent of the factors of the other characters, and this is the Mendel's law of independent assortment. Chromosomes from two parents come together in fertilization. Similarly, Mendel also proposed that there is mixing of paternal and maternal characters in progeny. Chromosomes retain their individuality and their structure throughout the life cycle. Similarly, Mendel also proposed that characters which are not expressed in a generation are not lost. Even if they are not expressed, they will be expressed in the next generation. So these are the parallelism between the chromosomes and the Mendel's factors. So there are some terms which you should be familiar before going through the detail of the genetics. These are the genes. Genes are basically the unit of inheritance which is carried from the parent to the offspring through the gametes. And these are basically, genes are the segments of DNA. Usually there is a dominant gene which controls the expression, which is always expressed even in the presence of other genes. They are referred to as the dominant gene, and they are always represented by the capital letter, and similarly the recessive gene is represented by the same small letter. Allelomorphs or alleles. Earlier it was considered that a pair of genes for every character which has contrasting expressions and have the same loci in the homologous chromosomes were considered as alleles or allelomorphs. But now the two genes of a single characters are referred to as alleles. Earlier it was it was said that capital T for tallness and small t for dwarfness, these are the alleles, but now it is considered that capital T, small t, capital TT, small tt, they are all alleles for the same character, which is the height. Dominant and recessive genes. The genes which express themselves always, even if other genes are present, are referred to as the dominant genes, and the genes which fails to express themselves in the presence of the other genes are referred to as the recessive genes. For example, in case of guinea pig, capital B is the dominant gene which codes for the black coat color, which is a dominant character, and small b is the recessive gene which codes for a white coat color. And when they are present together, the coat color will be of the guinea pig will be black, because capital B is dominant over the small b, and this will express its trait, and this will not be able to express, it will fail to express its traits in the presence of capital B. So this is the dominant gene and this is the recessive gene. Then the homozygous and the heterozygous individual. Homozygous individuals or organisms are also referred to as the pure individuals, and heterozygous are referred to as the hybrid individuals. The homozygous organisms have both the genes are similar, they are homozygous in their genetic makeup, whereas the heterozygous have a different gene composition. For example, capital TT is tall but it is homozygous, and capital T small t is also tall but its genetic makeup is different, therefore it is a hybrid or heterozygous organism. F1 generation. F1 generation is the first filial generation which is produced by genetic cross between the parents. Similarly, F2 generation is also the second filial generation which is also produced by genetic cross between the parents. Pure lines. They were discovered by Johnson in 1903. When the homozygous individuals bred true, they produce a race of genetically pure organisms resulting from continued selfing. These organisms which are produced by continuous selfing from the homozygous individuals are referred to as the pure lines. They have the identical genetic makeup, similar genetic makeup. But this pure lines is not possible because mutations occur and there is tendency to maintain the heterozygotes in the population. Then the genotype and the phenotype. Genotype is basically the genetic makeup of an organism, the gene composition of an organism, total number of genes which are present. The genetic makeup includes capital TT, capital T, small tt. This is the genotype of the organism. Phenotype is the external observable character, that is the appearance, that is tallness, dwarfness, dark, light, yellow, green, round, wrinkle. These are all the phenotypic expression. So this genotype can be different. Suppose this is capital T, small t. These are the different genetic makeup of the organism, but both these are tall plants, that means they have the same phenotypic expression. Then lastly, the genome. Genome is basically the complete set of genes in the haploid chromosomes, and they are inherited from the organism. In a single gamete, there is haploid set of the chromosomes. In diploid cell, there are two genomes, two haploid gametes which are formed during the process of spermatogenesis and during the process of gametogenesis. They combine so as to form the diploid cell, which is zygote, which has two genomes. In case of polyploids, more than two genomes can be present. More than two sets, complete set of genes is present. So these are the general terms which are being used in genetics. Then comes the Mendel's law of heredity. Mendel's law is universally accepted, and out of this, the first Mendel law to be accepted universally is the law of segregation. This law is also referred to as the law of purity of the gametes, because this law suggests that the factors for each contrasting characters segregate during the act of gamete formation. So the gametes which are formed are pure because they possess only one gene of each character. Therefore, it is referred to as the law of the purity of the gametes. This law can be demonstrated with the help of the monohybrid cross, in which the parents, a pure black guinea pig male, which has pure black coat color represented by capital BB, is mated with pure white guinea pig female, in which the genes are represented. The white coat color is represented by the genes small b, small b. This is the law of unit characters, that is, each character is controlled by a pair of factors, capital BB, small bb. Then the gametes. The gametes which are formed by these pure black guinea pig and the pure white guinea pig are capital B, small b, small b. This is the law of segregation, that is, the factors for each character segregate during the meiosis, during the process of meiosis. Then the F1 generation. In F1 generation, all the organisms which are formed are of black coat color because of the law of the dominance, which states that in the presence of a dominant gene, the recessive gene is unable to express itself, so the trait of dominant gene is always expressed. Therefore, all the individuals will be black. The gametes which are formed by the F1 individuals will be capital B, small b. The capital B, small b, capital B, small b. This is the law of segregation. Again, the factors for each character will segregate from each other. Then F2 generation, which are produced is capital B, small b, small b, capital B, small b, small b. This is the law of dominance. Again, three of the individuals will be black because of the expression of these dominant character, and one will be white. But actually, this is the phenotypic expression, phenotypic ratio, which is 3:1. The original ratio, according to genotype or the genetic makeup, the ratio is 1:2:1. That is, 1 is pure black, 2 is hybrid black, and 1 is pure white. Then is the law of independent assortment. It is represented by the dihybrid cross. According to this law, the factors controlling two contrasting traits segregate randomly, irrespective of the factors of the other character. This can be illustrated with the example of the pure black and short-haired guinea pig. Both these characters are dominant. Pure black represented by capital B, short-haired, which is also the dominant character, is represented by capital S. Pure white, which is a recessive trait, is represented by small b, and long-haired, which is also a recessive trait, is represented by small s. The gametes which are produced by these parents are capital B, small s, capital B, small s. These are the gametes, and small b, small s, small b, small s. This is the law of segregation. The factors for each character segregate independent of each other. BB will segregate and SS will segregate. Small bb will segregate and small ss will segregate. In F1 generation, when these gametes unite, they will result in the formation of individuals with pure black coat color and short hair, because it is dominant character. But the genotype will be capital B, small b, capital S, small s. This capital B will express its trait, and this capital S will express its trait. This is the law of dominance. The gametes which will be formed by these are, because of the law of segregation, they will form capital B, capital S, capital B, small s, capital B, capital S, capital B, small s, small b, capital S, small b, small s. So these are the different gametes which are formed. And on selfing of these individuals, F2 generation which is formed is, these are the gametes, capital BS, capital B small s, small b capital S, small b small s. So the individuals formed will be capital B, capital B, capital S, this with this, capital B, capital B, capital S, small s, capital B, small b, capital S, capital B, small b, capital S, small s, capital B, capital B, capital S, small s, capital B, small s, capital B, small b, capital S, small s, capital B, small b, small s, capital B, small b, capital S, capital B, small b, capital S, small b, small b, capital S, small b, small b, capital S, capital B, small b, capital S, capital B, small b, small s, small b, capital S, small b, small s. So these are the results of the crossing or selfing between the individuals of the F1 generation. So here the individuals which are formed are black and short haired. 1, 2, 3. Wherever the genetic makeup has capital B and capital S, whether they are present in pair or individually, they will express black and short haired. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So there are 9 black and short haired. Now the black and long haired which has the capital B and both the small s. 1, 2, 3. So there are 3 black and long haired. Now the white and short haired which has 2 small b's and 1 of the capital S. These are 1, 2 and 3. And lastly the recessive trait which is white and long haired, which can only be produced when both the genes for the characters are present in pairs. So this is the white and long haired. This is actually the hidden ratio, monohybrid ratio of 3:1, which is pure black are 9 and 3, pure black, these are basically the hidden monohybrid ratio, in which we can see by taking the single characters. Black are 9 and 3, which are 12:4, white, 3 plus 1 4, this is 12:4, black is to white, and this gives 3:1. But genotypically this ratio, this is phenotypic ratio. Genotypically pure black are 4, pure black 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Pure black are 1, 2, 3 and 4. These are pure black. Hybrid black are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there are hybrid black. And then pure white, they are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this gives us the phenotypic ratio of 1:2:1. Similarly, same is the case with the short and the long haired. Short and long haired are in the ratio of, this is short hair. These are 12:2, long haired, these are 4. This gives the ratio 12:4, which is 3:1. But pure short are this 1, 2, 3 and 4. 4 pure short is 2. Hybrid short are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. 8 and pure white are 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this gives the ratio of 1:2:1. When these homozygous parents are crossed and the gametes are formed, F1 generation which is formed is capital B small b, capital B small b. These are the heterozygous. All are black in color. When one of the F1 generation offspring is crossed with the homozygous dominant parent, then this cross is referred to as the back cross. When F1 generation individual is crossed with one of the parent which has dominant traits, then the cross is called back cross. And when the this back cross is done, all the progeny which is produced by back cross are all black. They produce the dominant trait. However, when this F1 generation is crossed with the parent having the recessive genes, then the gametes formed are these, capital B, small b, small b, small b, and the progeny formed are in the ratio of both the traits are there in the ratio of 1:1, that is black is to white. This is referred to as the test cross when the recessive parent is involved, and when the dominant parent is involved, then it is called back cross. This test cross is used so as to identify the genetic makeup of the progeny, whether the individual is heterozygous for the trait or it is homozygous for the trait. Similarly, this can be also achieved in the dihybrid cross. Test cross can be done in case of dihybrid. This is the homozygous black and short-haired guinea pig. This is homozygous recessive white and long-haired guinea pig. The gametes formed are these, and F1 generation is all black and short-haired. Test cross, when it is done, the test cross is done. The individuals which are obtained is black short 1, black long 1, white short 1 and white long 1. This proves that the individual with the F1 generation which was produced is heterozygous in genetic makeup and is not pure. Thank you.